Draco. Elvis.
Have no grace if you ain't working. Stop playing.
Shucks, we was
Man,
on
don't
mute.
work, don't eat.
We was on mute. We appreciate. We apologize about that. Look, we're gonna start this over, man. This is BMore4Real. Sorry about that, guys. We know
Welcome
we
to
was muted.
BMore4Real, you know what I mean? And that gives us a time to get a moment of silence with those who cannot be here and not with us this evening. Absolutely. We thank you. Thank you for joining us. Again, I am Uncle Wayne.
Man, I'm OMG Danny. We apologize about that, man. It's BMore4Real, man. We appreciate y'all for being here with us.
Wednesday.
We know we was muted, man. We still getting it together.
We got too much to say to be muted, sir.
This is a special show. This is a special show. Let's give some round of applause and let's do all that, man. Let's do it, man. This is really, really special show.
It only could get better than this. You know what? Because Baltimore is suffering. You know how they say, hurt people hurt people? Baltimore is a city in pain. So with that said, you can see why it's the way it is. We at each other's throat on a regular basis.
Right.
And for nothing.
Right. And on this show, man, we got a special announcement. We're not even going to hide it. We're going to go straight to it. It is a special show. We're going to go straight to the topic of the night. We're going to get into something deep. Make sure y'all like. Make sure y'all share. Make sure y'all subscribe. Let's go right into the topic of the night, man.
Bam!
Let's go into the topic of the night, man. This is deep, man. Let's go.
Uncle Wayne.
Let's go. Let's get it. Let's
get it. Time for that
Let's do it, man.
It's that time, yo. Seriously. It is that time to make a difference for real. Like I said, Baltimore's a city in pain. And hurt people, and we do it on a regular basis. Almost every single place. And I'm going to tell you something, for the last 13 years, I've really been into the inner city and real deep. You know, I'm born and raised here. Absolutely. But, you know, you go off into the workforce world, and you understand there, you leave the inner city behind. But when I came back to the inner city, taking care of my mom, and she got sick, to realize Baltimore is, woo, I've never seen nothing like this, ever. And the thing about it, I try to figure out something. Where are the problems? People say, oh, well, shooting is at the highest, and drug overdose is at the highest, and drug addiction is at the highest. But I keep saying, where are the problems? They're not the problems. They're the symptoms of the problems, absolutely. But they're not the problems. As Baltimore, we got to dig a little deeper in our problems. And then just think about this. Would you want to kill someone if you making a good living honestly? Now,
Absolutely
a
not.
lot of times you're making a good living honestly. You have to kill for a living. But if you're making a living honestly, making good money, you think twice before you make dumb decisions to make somebody else take you out to where you are. You had a house, good job, car, and a family or two. If you do, you wouldn't think twice. You wouldn't think about trying to take somebody else's life or do something stupid because you have more to get home to. But when you don't have a house, a good car, you know what I mean, or anything like that, you're gonna rob Peter to pay Paul. And that's what's happening in Baltimore. And then you're robbing someone for a few dollars. Do you get what I'm saying? So when I'm running for mayor, it's not making up stories. This is the real deal. Some things have to stop. We need more responsibilities and more opportunities, and that's where I come in. When I say running for mayor, I just don't want to be mayor just to be mayor. I want to implement, design this program to enter Baltimore. It's a whole bunch of parts to it. I'm going to send out, I guess, meetings or gatherings that we can have. We can break it down, and I will put it together and send it out. But tonight, I'm just finished the paperwork and everything, and I now registered as a candidate for Baltimore as mayor. So,
And we're gonna give a round of
thank you.
applause for that. Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Send me in them questions. Let's go. Let's go.
Uncle Wayne for mayor, man, for
I
real.
had to.
What you see is not a joke. It is not a joke. It is.
Not just the topic of the night. It's the topic of the next 4 years.
It's going to be. It's going to be an extensive topic, and you know, this is Be More for Real. We have a serious podcast. We have a serious conversation about this. So we're gonna have some comments and some questions. If you want to ask Uncle Wayne some comments and questions about mayor and what it takes to be in that realm, please feel free. The mic is always open. Y'all know the slogan.
Don't hesitate.
I'm gonna do the same as well. Y'all know how we do is Be More for Real podcast. So we definitely gonna get into it. So
Let's do
first
this.
of all, congratulations. Uncle Wayne, man. My man, 100,000 grand, man.
And then
100,000 grand. So first of all, I appreciate you for even putting the legwork in, and people haven't even understood that we take it seriously when we say that we're actually in the community,
yes.
Doing things within the community to better the situation that we're in. So we're not all talk, and this is not just a podcast. This is a real reality situation.
Be more for real.
We being more for real
We
about
mean
it.
what we
So
say.
if y'all could do us a favor, you know, Uncle Wayne is running for mayor. If you could do us a favor, go ahead and share this video. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and share it however you can on your social media platforms, especially if you're in the city of Baltimore, because this stuff impacts us. We have a person that has our best interest in the building for a male candidate, and we have to support and do our due diligence. So let's make sure we blow this up. Let's make sure we do this. This is Be More for Real. And this is the for real kind, man. This is the for real kind. Again, and we're going to get some round of applause at home.
Can't get more for real.
They didn't hear that.
Things from the inside out.
They didn't
Time
hear
to
that.
change things from the inside.
They ain't hear that. They didn't see that. But, you know, the topic of the night, man, is Uncle Wayne is up for mayor. And we're going to talk about some things, and we're going to be more for real about some things, because we talk about things on I guess, a surface level, right? But we don't never talk about things on maybe like a political level and things of that nature, and having to deal with politics and deal with people that's going into that structure. So me, I'm a person that does not deal with politics. First thing off the bat, I would like to know is what is your stance, like Democratic, Republican, and things like that.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because that blew me for a loop. Now let's kind of get this here. I don't agree with everything Democrats do. Absolutely not. And I don't disagree with everything the Republicans believe in. I like some of the things Republicans believe in, and I like some things Democrats believe in. But I had a choice, either Democrat or Republican. I tried to do independent, which the meaning lost me all the way around. And you can't even be an independent candidate running for mayor.
Okay, so let me get this right.
Unbelievable.
Hold on, let me get this right. So in order to elect for mayor and things like that, you had to choose either Democrat or Republican,
or the other.
One or the other. Okay, that's something that we didn't know. Now, look, be more for real, and look, we get into the nitty gritty. Shout out. For real. Hey, yo, this is something that's real, man. This is not a joke. This is not a game. Uncle Wayne for mayor, man, this is not a game. And what we're going to do is we're going to change the city. Remember, we told y'all we was in the communities. We are in the communities day in and day out doing things in the community. But this time is a real time.
The community inside of Baltimore, so we know. And then remember, saying community is only backwards. If it's our community, if we own something, it's kind of hard to call our community when we don't own nothing. We own little to nothing. So it's more like neighborhoods. That's why it's so disrespectful when people in different blocks. They're in the neighborhood, they don't live there. There's no community, so they do their crime and do whatever they want and roll out. That time has got to change. We got to make them community.
If I may, can I ask you something?
Absolutely.
So when I look at politics, right, I see what politicians do in the communities. They often say things one way, right, when they run for campaign, and then when they get in office, it's another way. You fighting for this, that, and the third, or what have you. One thing that I want to understand or try to get across is how can we break the cycle of Black people representing Black people in government and in politics without looking like a sellout, without looking like you have nothing to do with us, like the other people are lower class, because I think that's the major disconnect. Like how can we all of a suddenly just start trying to own things? How can you persuade the police departments and the judges and all in the court systems to basically vouch for you to be mayor and run the city, you know what I'm saying, given the circumstances of your dispositions?
Let me tell you exactly why. It's us. I preach all the time. So it's enough of preaching. It's time to teach. It's time to learn. We have to pull together. If I go up there as one man running for mayor, I look like a one Black man running my mouth. But if we all go up there, you see the difference of the look. We have to believe in something in order to make a difference. Or that it's a waste of time. I believe in us. You know what I'm saying? We just have to believe in each other. That's just how it is. For example, the system is corrupt all the way around in Baltimore City. All the way around. Let's give an average Black brother. Let me tell you how the city and the state start making money off of. As a child, let's say if they're a child and their parents addicted to drugs and that kid comes out. Let's get that kid's life. The kid comes out addicted to drugs. Already is all these programs that's going to be on them. They're going to get this, get that, get drugs to get off of drugs, this to get off of drugs. And already the city and state is being paid for that individual child. Not that it goes to the community or the neighborhood, it goes into that community as far as that child. Then as that child goes into elementary, watch this, there are all these other programs. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's on them. They're not working with them. They're working on the issue that they think that the child had, not getting to know that child. Then the child goes into a teenage. There's all these other issues. No one addressing the issues. They're just throwing programs in there where everyone make money, not changing the individual.
So what type of programs are they throwing in there? What type of changes do you see within the system? Because this is serious, man. Running for real mayor. If y'all don't believe it, man, we had a paperwork. The news is really breaking news. Uncle Wayne is running for mayor of Baltimore City, and this is not a game. This is not a game. So we want y'all to go ahead, like, share, subscribe. We want y'all to go ahead and blow this up because it's already going to be blown up. He's already in the candidate selection.
Paperwork
Um,
was done today,
the candidate
finally, with
selection.
all the paperwork and this and that and this finally together, because try to break me so I don't get past that hurdle. But see, God is my boss this time. I'm telling you all people out there, I don't man is not who I work for. I work for God. That's the difference between the two. God has an assignment for me to do, and that's what I'm going to do. Implementing it is different. Us black people, we are left behind. We are left behind because we are becoming our own worst enemies. Some things have got to stop. We've got to move to the next level. In order to do it, we got to pull together, like it or not. That's see, the thing about it is non-traditional this time around. I'm not going to be this traditional candidate that's running for mayor that making promises that I'm never going to keep. I'm not going to get elected and then start pointing the finger at everybody else. Oh, that happened before I came. That ain't my department. That ain't my department. It's not like that. I'm going to be a powerful mayor. I'm going to oversee this city. And most of you all in these departments like social services, and a lot of these city programs, you all do more time running your mouth, talking about what you did last night, entertaining instead of working. If you're going to work for Baltimore City, you're going to work. If not, you can get a pink slip and find yourself working for somewhere else because there's others who need jobs. That's the thing. You have to work while you're in there. If not, change positions. That's just how it's going to be. Time for a change all the way around. So let's people say, oh, I'm not going to vote for him, not for mayor. Guess what? Don't vote for me because you like me. Vote because I'm productive, effective. It's time for a change for real. This is not church. Man, listen, I ride hard on church folks because you think you better than everyone else. That's the situation now. These church folks, that's another thing got to stop. You got to come out of the church and teach people about God for real. These people don't think God loves them. You church folks have set it up so much that they think God loves them and no one else. It doesn't make sense. People are suffering and dying. They need some unconditional love. That's it. You got to stop being the selfish way you are and start making a difference. We got to pull our neighborhood together and turn it into a community. That means the stores that's around has to be owned by us. That means the market got to be owned by us. The gas stations has to be owned by us. Everything, not just a few restaurants and a couple of clothing stores. And God bless it that we have, but we are powerful to own a lot of other things as well. So it's time for a change all the way around. So it's our time and
It's
it's our
our
turn.
turn. Let's give a round of applause. Man, seriously. Uncle Wayne is running for mayor. And this is one thing that I always talk about. And that I always dreamed of, you know what I'm saying? Just to make a difference in the community. I was talking to BMore Baby earlier, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, you know what? My goal, my dream is to make a difference within the
Who is
community.
BMore Baby?
I was
But
having a
who
conversation.
is BMore Baby?
Oh, BMore Baby. Make sure y'all follow the segment with the BMore Entertainment, BMore Baby. Y'all gonna know more about her. Y'all gonna see what she about if y'all haven't already seen. This she is a third of the Be More for Real podcast.
Our
You know what I'm saying?
entertainment
We
company,
don't
absolutely.
none of this stuff go around just by us single handedly. You know what I'm saying? Each
Take
and
the
everybody,
team.
each and everybody plays a part in this, and that's truly it is truly working for us. And we appreciate everybody that views us as well too, because you guys make it even more worth what we're doing. But what we want to do is we want to blow this up. Really, what you see, Uncle Wayne is running for mayor, and it's not a game. Like, this is not just a joke. This is not a parody or whatever you want to call it. This is what's really happening in the community. We really want to make a difference. Now, we're gonna have some real questions that I want to ask Uncle Wayne. Just some real questions, because this is the Be More for Real podcast. A lot of stuff they don't want us to display, like last week, the episode that we wanted to show y'all. You know what I'm saying? There was some things that really couldn't be said during that episode that, that the social media had a problem with. and it couldn't be displayed to people in this country for whatever reason. Listen to what I'm saying. So you got to go ahead and look at it on Facebook.
And
but
we
trying
had
to
these different opinions about that too. We can
right,
slightly get into it. It
right,
was the,
right. We had
Israel
different, but
and
what we was talking
Gaza
about,
and Hamas, and
what we were talking about, will make you spark interest and things like that. It will spark your interest because we here to make you think. We don't want to agree on the same things at all,
and we don't always,
and we don't always agree on the same thing at
all.
And that's not the problem. The problem is that we don't know how to disagree. The problem is that we do not know how to iron sharpen iron, and we all grow from the situation, from this disputation that we're having. So without further ado, though, Uncle Wayne is running for mayor, and we're gonna give a round of applause again.
It's our time, and it's our turn.
Look, it's our time and it's our turn. But I got some real questions for you, Uncle Wayne. We don't got a lot of time. We don't have a lot of time. I have a lot of questions because a lot of times we see that when people are elected for these offices and things like that, right? They say they have the best interests of the people, but they really don't. So how is it that you can protect the best interests of the people without the help of the police department and all them, and keep on making them money?
This is where my issue comes in. When it comes to the police department itself, that's an issue within itself. That's where we're going to have to sit down and really have a discussion about the police department of Baltimore City. It has come to a time where it has come and it run its course. It is over with. Baltimore City Police have got to go. You may dislike, listen, I'm not saying we don't need protection. I never said that. But police department can't be our only protection. What we do is we got to look at the facts, look at the history. Just like I said, all these other departments, the pink slip, you're going to look at Baltimore City. Before I come in there, we're going to do what you did in the past, what you've been doing, what you're doing now, and are you effective? If you're not effective, then you can't be making the money and having the position of what they say, serve and protect. That's supposed to be their motto and the things that they do. Mm-hmm. And we know, growing up all through my life, I'm 60 years old now. So it never worked. It's time for something different. Now watch this. The younger generation are smart and intelligent. They got to start coming up with other ways. We can't keep doing it the way we've doing it as our older way. The younger generation have different ideas. Mm-hmm. Y'all have to implement them. Mm-hmm. Come up with other strategies and ideas to protect Baltimore, because we do need protection, but we don't need to be abused in order to protect. That doesn't make sense. So it's like this. Let me give you a prime example. People say, well, yeah, it's high crime rate in Baltimore, so they have to do what they have to do. Let's flip the script. A lot of times when there are mass shooting, or there will be white people who had guns and stuff in their family, and they go into these places and shoot up places. It's usually those people. So why don't we go harass those middle class people and say, well, you got those younger kids, and usually some of them, have any of them had any mental problems? Because if they did, maybe they are going to go out and start shooting people. So we're going to harass the mother and father.
And by harass, we mean hold them accountable. FYI, because we don't want people to take things out of context.
But I'm telling you, we're not going to blame everyone.
Right. This is what we're not going to do. What we're not going to do is we're not going to harass everyone, like he's saying. We're going to hold the proper people accountable. So
there you
go. So we got to make that clear. I understood, not overstood what you're saying, but at the same time, to suit everybody needs is a huge task. You can't suit everybody needs. Somebody is going to be unhappy.
Fair.
Some people are going to be unhappy and all that stuff.
But you have
and
to
when
be
you call it fair,
you can't be hired to protect and serve and harass and arrest. You can't do it, and it's been going on for too many years. We need another agency that helps with the crime.
Right.
And at the same time, learn. The police department still haven't learned us. The police department haven't learned who black folks are. They really haven't. You can tell they're all ran by white. Their tactics and true facts, they used to be slave patrol. So their tactics are similar the same way. They need to learn to understand us. If you're gonna police us and have a whole city that's underneath you, you have to understand who you're policing. You can't go treat everyone the same way. You can't. You have to have respect. We've been disrespected too long.
Right.
And we're paying them to disrespect us. True fact.
Right.
It's all the way around. And we need protection. We need better protection. Watch this. Let me tell you my plan. Actually, absolutely simple. When you're in the Baltimore City, you know good policemen. Look in the neighborhood. All I'm going to ask, you can tell the ones that are good police officers. They tell you, officers so and so are pretty good. Those police officers, watch this, need to be risen to the top. Start hiring underneath people called Baltimore protectors. Watch this. People who are more knowledgeable of Baltimore and fit let me say a physical position as well. You cannot be a police officer out of shape. That doesn't make sense. You know you might have to run. You know you might have to have active activities. So how would it make sense to have an out of shape policeman? It doesn't make sense. How do you have a policeman that sit in a car all day and do nothing? It doesn't make sense. We keep allowing it. So now they said, since I can't abuse you, I'm not going to help with anything.
Right.
Get it?
Well, my thing is this: the black people have been held up, right? The black people have been ridiculed, right?
I can agree with that.
We are in a city that's predominantly black people.
Mm-hmm. What 63 or more?
What are the essential things that we need that the government politics they don't provide? Because it's like when we hear this all the time, right? We hear this all the time. When you promise this and that, I'm gonna go in office and all of this, and I'm gonna do things for the people. Supposedly, what people are you looking out for? I just don't know. I think that it will be frowned upon that if you went into political offices and you would say, look, my primary obligation is to the people of my city, the people of my culture, you know what I'm saying, to hold them down and to make sure that they can prosper just as the rest of the nations prosper. And that's a true thing. And notice what I was saying is like, to say that in office would be like something unheard of. To say that I'm coming in here to protect my people, their interests, and to make sure that they can prosper just as the rest of the nations prosper. Mm-hmm. I think that makes a difference. I think that makes a huge difference. And I don't know whether or not the government
will accept it. I mean, especially right. Coming out talking that way. But listen to this. It is no longer up to them on how we should live. We need to take control over how we live. That makes sense. God created this world for all of us, not just some. No one's better than anyone else. You need to get this through your head. No one better than anyone else. So with that in mind, I'm here to bring opportunities. That's my goal. My difference is not fighting this government, not fighting this. I'm not fighting no white people. No, nothing. I love white people just as much as anyone else. I'm concentrating on the disadvantages that we have here in Baltimore City. And I'm going to even the playing field and let the chips fall where they lie. That's my goal. I'm not trying to knock anyone else down and move anyone else. I just need opportunities that we all can grow. But watch this, and you get a chance to show us that we can all grow on an even playing field. May the best man win. That's where my goal is. But the best man can't win now when we have little to nothing. You understand? That's where it's an unfair playing field.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we continue to lose. And every time we get up to something, they move the goalposts
Right.
because we have no control over the policies and procedures.
Well, I will say the media and a lot of things control the influences of what people
They
hear,
doing it already.
which is why we have our own media. If we would have had our own media and our own influences, people would have
Yeah.
got behind it a lot sooner. But because we don't, we got to grow it organically because a lot of the media attractions and attentions that people are getting are not organic followers. These are people that's been implanted within the community, and that's
Fox 45. Let me give you a prime example. I can say exactly what. Another one where they use us when they want to and then use us again when they do. It's always a trick of the trade. Like say, for
Be
example,
more pod though. Be more pod. We appreciate you, good brother, for joining the podcast. This is some real things that we're talking about. We actually have a candidate for mayor. And as well, your platform should be a platform that's exemplary to talk about the things that we also talk about as well. We'll do business, we'll talk. You know what I'm saying? Be more pod. We love you. We appreciate you. Make sure y'all go ahead and follow Be More Pod. We appreciate you. Hello to you as well.
But and come be a guest.
Absolutely. And we can hope we can be the same in return as well. Just to help each other out. But as they go with politics, right? When we get into politics, the main thing is that how much of the resources of the government is really being used for the people to be set free, or how much of the resources of the government is being used to keep the people captive and in the same situations that they're in. Because there are some things, like I know that you have to enter one or two ways, right? Either Democrat or Republican. But what I don't know is what stance that you take on the Democrat or Republican.
Now, as I had to run for the Democrat Party because it's either Democrat or Republican, independent it is not. Plus, I really don't understand independence. I try to read the description of that. It is just doesn't make sense. However, Democrat, it really doesn't matter what party I decide to run under. Honestly, it's what I plan to implement. It's the things that I want to change for Baltimore, for the greater good, for real. And I'm only one man. So how am I gonna make a difference if we don't? We have to make a difference. When I say it's our time, it's our turn, it's the truth. It's us. We have to do it. We gotta stop hating each other, talking behind each other back, slicing each other, cutting each other in the back, and learn to live with each other, work together. That's what it has to be. And opportunities make the difference. Let's say, for example, if you have no opportunities, you have really nothing to live for. Think about it. You have no goals. You have nothing. You ain't accumulating nothing. And we're going to keep robbing Peter to pay Paul. And we're never going to amount to anything. And watch this. Our children watches us. And what we do, our children emulate, whether you want them to or not. Whether they do what you do or the opposite of what you do, it affects them. That's why it needs more opportunities for Baltimore. Baltimore got it going on. We just need to take the resources, put them together, lay them down, and get this done.
Hold that thought,
too far being in the back.
Hold that thought. 1 second, Uncle Wayne. Be More Pod said, let me know when. And that does swing both ways. Keep up the good work. Stay blessed. We appreciate that comment, man. We really do. We appreciate that, man. Let's go ahead and get on. This is how we do it. This is what we do because at the end of the day, this is what we are going to do. This is not what we're trying to do. What we are going to do is make a difference within the community. I have a lot of questions, and I try to refrain from saying them on air. But I mean, we be more for real, and I'm trying to ask Uncle Wayne some real questions about this mayor candidate. And if you guys have questions, because he's really running for mayor, we'll get the paperwork for you guys the next episode, and y'all gonna have to keep up to date. If you don't mind though, please make sure y'all share this one. If y'all never shared one video and y'all watch this video, or y'all watch any of our previous videos on BMore4Real podcast, if y'all never shared anyone, make sure y'all share this video because he's really running for mayor.
That's right. And we're ready for our town hall gatherings. So get ready for our whole list. We will be throwing it out here. So get ready. Any questions, ask away. Just remember, get ready for the answer.
And this is extremely serious. You understand what I'm saying? Because we are talking about getting into politics and all that stuff. And I was talking about that the other week. And I think the best way to do it is to keep the people updated and informed on the other episodes because they probably haven't seen them. So basically, long story short, a few episodes ago, we were talking about Malcolm X and Malcolm X the King, right? And how they were both killed at 39 years old as well. But what I'm saying is people don't have the proper protection, don't have the proper representation when people go ahead and fulfill these positions. We may not agree with everything, but
Right.
if we have somebody that's on our side, that's in there, that's all that matters. And I said it last week as well too. Like when we have people that's policemen, like we have to be careful what we say as black people because we be like after police and after all these other people, after
Uh-huh.
doctors and all that stuff. But you know
That's
what?
not
We
it.
we really
Right.
need black doctors. We really need black policemen. We need black mayors. We really need black people to represent us in these fields, or else you can the worst that you can fear is probably the least of your fears. You got to be worried about the things that you don't know about at that point, and rewind that and play that over if you need to. But
But when you say
we're
black,
doing something. We're
and
being
remember this,
proactive about it.
when we need black, we need black. It's okay to be yourself. This is where I have a major issue at. When you become into that professional world, you feel as though you gotta look, act, and be professional. That part to me doesn't make sense. You need to be yourself. Do you understand what that is? Be yourself. That's who God created you to be, yourself. God didn't want to say, oh, you without being professional, that's why I like. That's not it. God wants you to be yourself because you influence other people by being real. Do you
Mm-hmm.
understand? If you're a doctor, if you've learned your skills, you've learned your skills. What about being professional have anything to do with it? If you work hard and earn what you have, you a master at your thing, be a master at what you do. Watch this. No matter what it is, you have to be yourself and be good at what you do no matter what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we got to learn here. We do, especially as black men.
What my thing is, and my major concern with the whole mayor selection is that what can we do for the city? Because I was born in the 90s, so I'm not that old, right? I'm 29 years old. So when I look at the pictures of Baltimore from yesteryear, right, and I
Mhm.
look at the progression, if you want to call it that, I think it's really digression. What can we do about that? We have these vacant houses, right? Blocks and blocks of vacant
Mhm.
houses, and then the people that buy them up is the banks and all that stuff
Mhm.
for the gentrification.
Mhm.
Like we know all of this. With all of this information, right? With all of this information, technology, analytics, what are we doing with
That's
this research?
and now you get a chance to see what I'm talking about, why I'm running for mayor, because the program that I'm going to implement in here for Baltimore City. See, I can't do it now because it's going to take time. I'm going to have my first gathering, and I don't call it meeting. I hate to say that word. First gathering for us will be the middle of November, where I implement the entire plan that we have for Baltimore, all ours, including the abandoned houses. That is part of our major plan because just like you said now, he worked on a part of the issue in finding out who owned the homes and getting the city to take over, but you turn around and selling them to everyone but us. That's the part that hurts my feelings. And you ready for this? Selling them to everyone else again but us, like you said, to the banks and all. We're ahead of the game now. Watch this. If we stick with the plan that I'm going to implement, we are ahead of the game. If you go with their plan, they're selling it back to the white folks, but get us to what do they say, rent them and buy to own again. So now everything is owned by them. We're living in them, but everything is owned by them again. And some of them houses were our grandparents. People struggled to own them homes in them inner cities. And now the only thing we have of value, we giving it away.
Okay, so
Sad.
my question would be, is your plan to go against the grain of the government? Because if so, how much representation can you expect to get from taking such a bold stance at this day and age.
I'm expecting to get none from the government. None.
Okay.
I'm expecting vicious blowback.
Vicious backlash.
I like the back because you know why is that? Because they don't want things to change. I realize when I'm doing my research and all this and all the things through years, they're making money.
Maria says truth. Appreciate you, Maria. Like and share the stream. Be more for real. We're doing some things and be more. Make sure y'all like and share the stream. This is a real movement. This is not just a podcast. It's a real movement. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate you, Maria, nonetheless.
They're making money off us in every way. Our downfalls, they make money over and over and over. We're losing in every avenue. A black man needs to be a black man. He needs to have responsibilities and things that he owns legally. Do you see? It can be done if we pull together. It's not going to be done with just me running my mouth. That's a lost cause. But God has given me the power to do this and the permission, and I'm going to do it. And in order to get done, we got to pull together. So all those promises, watch this, to hear this, that we made God for your brothers that was locked up, or let me give you another prime example. When you are promising God, if you get out, things will be better and you're going to help out. But when you got out, you turned your back on God. You was no longer there. So God told me to tell you that you owe, help out. And we can do this together. So time to feed back those promises to God and let's rock and roll. One more time. It's our time and it's our turn.
Turn. This is not a typo. This is not a typo. What you see is not a typo. Uncle Wayne is running for mayor. He is an official ballot for the mayor that's coming up for Baltimore. We talking about BMore4Real. Man, make sure y'all go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the stream. This is really important. Like, what can we do as a people? We got a comment from my brother. He said group economics. Dr. Claude Anderson, I was watching a video from him earlier as well. The video that was entitled, I mean, it was just today.
What was the video?
Are black people the same as everybody else? Is the black race the same as everybody else? It was by Dr. Claude Anderson. I was watching that video. I'm not going to speak too much into it because that was my first time watching it today, but it's interesting that my brother mentioned it as well. And then he was talking about group economics is how we make change. And that's really the gist of this. You know, we have group economics, we have group resurgences as a people. See, in this day and age, and y'all know I believe in the Bible. I like to let the Bible speak. Will this valley of dry bones live? The Holy Bible. Will this valley of dry bones live? We got a whole bunch of people that are dry and dead that don't know who they are, still trying to discover who they are, still trying to discover a plan for life, and yet and still the Most High has a plan, and He already told you that the strength is in numbers. He already told you that the strength is in logistics. He already told you that the strength is in numbers, the strength is in logistics. We have somebody in office that's vouching for us. Let's make sure we give them a round of applause. I like that. So, with that being said, though, the running for the mayor, that is huge, man. That is extremely huge. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe this because we're going to be able to talk to somebody that's actually a mayor candidate and be able to express what we can get off and not have the politics and the government intercede and their agendas being established and things like that. So we gotta this day and age and time. We're not just talking like this. BMore4Real podcast. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. We got a lot of issues, but guess what? We don't have. We don't have a problem with the truth. We don't have a problem with direction, and we don't have a problem with correction. We got a problem with the direction in which we're going. Let's get a round of applause with that.
I like that. That make a whole bunch of sense.
For real, because people that don't like correction, don't like direction, they have their own way, their own path. You lost. You going nowhere fast. So I just want to say congratulations to you, Uncle
Thank you.
Wayne.
I appreciate that, brother.
For seriously, I want to say congratulations to you, but I also want to ask you really deep down questions. You know what I'm saying, that will really
That's the
impact
way.
the growth and the development of Baltimore City and the entire state of Maryland. Because it starts with us. Baltimore is one of the top predominantly black cities, I believe, at least top 10, one of the top 10 predominantly black cities in America. So when we're talking about situations and circumstances that we're facing, we can make a difference one person at a time, one campaign at a time. If we have somebody in office that's willing to make sure that we can take back the land, that we can take back our resources slowly but surely, and give us our just due, just like the other races get their just due. What's the problem with that? I hope
we are us.
I hope you didn't miss that. But if we can get our just due, just like California, y'all don't think California fighting for reparations? I should have brought the video up, but I didn't have it prepared. I didn't know I was gonna go this deep into the conversation.
Hey, I hit you up with it.
Look, their government politics and all of them, they are talking reparations is on the table, and let's applaud the California governors for even having that discussion.
Let's start. But you know what be the wrong thing right now for us to get reparations and the same thing. The money will be gone and we will be in the same situation. We need some policy changes, some rules and regulations and things different. You know, and not only the reparation, we need land. That's another thing. But watch this. The thing that God has me to implement, I'm going to show you how we can do it fair and square again. Again. The same way we could do it again. So we're not telling you we're not taking anything from it. We want to even the playing field. That's what we have to do. We have to even the playing field so it could be fair. That's what it has to be. We can't continue to live this way. We can't. It doesn't make sense anymore. It just doesn't.
Exactly.
Because our future, looking a little dim here.
Oh, my brother's on here today, bro. My brother, Michael said it's up. My brother Craig said, man, congratulations, Uncle Wayne. Be sure to leverage my free help desk service for your technical needs should you need to.
Absolutely.
My brother Craig, man, he definitely works for the state. He got a lot of things. We promote black businesses, and what other business to promote other than my brother? He helps people that to get IT services, certifications, excuse me, and help them get on the best course and establish a career for themselves, man. It don't matter what position or where you at.
I didn't know he did that.
He has state-funded programs. He works with the state, and you'll know more about his program.
I need to talk to
when you become mayor.
I need to talk to him
when you become mayor. You'll know more about that. Let's give my brother a round of applause for that. Let's go ahead. Shout out my brother Craig. Shout out my brothers. Shout out my brothers, man, for joining the stream too, man. Like this is serious. We know what type time this is, man, and we know the seriousness and the severity of the situation. We need people that's in the government, that's in higher positions that have our interests. And we were talking about that weeks ago, and it's ultra important. Imagine if we just had a system that was full of our old oppressors and people that didn't have our best interests at heart. We would never be able to get ahead. But what we're going to do is we're going to be more for real about the situation. Again, we're going to be more for real about our situations. When I tell you that we are in the communities, we are making a difference. Now, everything that we do might not be right because we're human, but that doesn't matter. What really matters is that we have the best interests of the people at heart, and we need to start putting those type of people in positions.
I agree. All the way around. We're going to put in positions all the way around.
All the way around.
You've got to hear what I'm about to implement. You really do. It's going to take some time. We got to sit down, and I'm going to explain, and you can understand where I'm coming from. It's time to make a change from Baltimore, for real. It has to be. It just can't continue to be like this. You know, when you can get up every day and not work, and you're a man, it's never heard of. How can you be 20? Let me give you a prime example. 20-something years old, get up every day, and don't go to work. How is that feasible? It doesn't make sense. And we do it so much, we think it's the norm.
Right.
It's not the norm. We got to find a way. Listen, I never said a job 9 to 5. That is not it. You have to be able to work, hustle, make ends meet. You have to. And all that energy and you have inside, just let's utilize it. You got to come and hear my plan, implement. We're going to utilize it. We're going to do it together. And you ever think about some ideas of HVAC, electrician, roofer, what they call carpentry, building trades, CDLs, diesel mechanic, auto mechanic, even being a barber. I'm gonna tell you another program that we haven't been and don't even understand. Simple sewing. Sewing, if you get good at sewing, you can have a real productive career.
Mm-hmm.
Sewing is one of the major
You can make
things.
authentic clothing wear and charge them the same exorbitant prices that the other top level Givenchy and Avant-Garde Share and all of them charge. And for the same designs, custom trims and stuff like that.
And Black folks are some of the creative beings ever. But we got to take the time and examine who we are. Once again, stop being someone else and be yourself. That's the creative part. And that's where I'm aiming at. Because if Baltimore had more of us being ourselves, but you have to do something with yourself. Mm-hmm. That's the missing part. And when you hear the whole plan implemented, then you will understand. I can't start it now because it's going to take a little bit to get into.
And you know what? That's actually that's really what I respect about you as well. I don't know why cousin Derek Common's not showing up on the screen, but he definitely said congratulations, Uncle Wayne. You got people that sending you congratulations. We want to shout out the viewers as well too. Make sure y'all go ahead over to YouTube, like, share, subscribe. Definitely share the stream. Uncle Wayne for Mayor, Real Talk. Make sure y'all subscribe.
I need you.
We gonna give a shout out to our viewers.
Each other.
We gonna give a shout out to our viewers, man. That's ultra important, man. We appreciate y'all nonetheless. But my question is, given the circumstances and you running for that type of office, right, and the pressure that you'll be under to actually appease police departments, let's be more for real about that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta appease the police departments and the governments and get their votes as well too, because a lot of them are voting citizens. And, when you talk about the police and we keep talking about the police, Black people historically don't like the police, and for historical, factual reason, to be truthfully honest about the situation. So, brutally honest, truthfully honest, however you want to put it. So given the circumstances with
brutally honest, I like that better.
Being brutally honest about our dealings with the police, about our dealings with the governments, the court systems. How do you get the judges, the lawyers, the prosecutors? How do you get the police department and all these people on your side? Or is it going to take the voice of the people?
Just said it. Remember, I said it's our time. It's our turn. I didn't say it's my turn, my time, my turn. It's ours. If we don't do this together, it's not going to work. Watch this. Let me give you a prime example. It will be a beautiful day as I'm running mayor when, let's say, school open up. They open the door of school, and outside you see all the fathers with the children on the first day of school. That's an example of what I want. Can you imagine the difference? So when the fathers ask, what's the curriculum? What are you teaching them? And get involved, we can change things. Mm-hmm. Now imagine every department, when you look out, you see a whole bunch of Black men. Let's not use just the Black on this. We're going to lead. It's not only. And all the fathers, no matter what race that you are, the fathers for a change. Mm-hmm. We will make a difference. That's my focus.
To be honest, I don't want to get what I'm saying. Get the viewers to what I'm saying out of context, but not about the other races, but for Black people in specific. And this is my problem that I keep seeing with a bunch of politicians, and why a lot of people that's so quote unquote woke. This is a lot of people problems. Like when people get into politics, it's like, well, you defeating your own purpose, because at the end of the day, they're working for the and they have a sworn oath of affirmation as well. These people are sworn in to do a certain agenda prior to fulfilling their duty of office, what we think is their duty of office. And I'll say this again: what we see on the surface level is not what's the sworn oath of affirmation kind of what these political candidates seem to face, and that's an ultra problem that I have with the black leaders and communities, because it's only us. I see that, when Trump got into office and stuff like that, he made tax breaks for the rich folk, and a lot of the rich folk, he already knew. We already knew what type of time it was. You know what I'm saying? Ronald Reagan and all this stuff, considered to be the greatest president of all time, and
for Republicans.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And Bill Clinton and what his, I mean, we all bear with them, but I mean, like, none of them will ever face the scrutiny that black people face, especially a black man that's of representation. But then when we had a black man in office like Barack Obama, right, for president, it's like black people feel like Barack Obama hasn't done anything for black people. And see, me on the other side, though, I think that Barack Obama couldn't do it, because even like John F. Kennedy, right, how he had a certain agenda to get certain things happening, and they killed him. Just like Abraham Lincoln, he had a certain agenda and they killed him. I mean, they two are four presidents that's been assassinated while in office or killed while in offices. And we only know about those two, but it's actually been four. If you don't believe it, look it up. I mean, this is BMore4Real, man. This is BMore4Real. So I'm just saying, to get behind this whole ordeal, to get behind this whole campaign, how can we get past the hurt that we always hear from the politician that say, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and the shit never get done. Excuse my French.
Because for one, you don't see, we stand behind, we're gonna vote for him, we like him, but we don't follow through. We don't stay behind that candidate. We don't hold him accountable for the promises that he made. Let's say, for example, Brandon Scott right here. Now he's all on telling, it's this, and hiding and running, and then everybody's saying, he only one man can barely do it. But when you make these promises, you have to follow through. Just like a date, I'll give you a promise that you meet someone on a date, you say this. As you get to know them and into the relationship, you're expecting this, and this. But if you're not getting there, it's not a campaign promise. They are lies.
My thing is, I feel for the worst, because we had leaders, right, all the time. In the city of Baltimore, we're gonna be more for real. We got like stuff like Johns Hopkins. We know this has been happening for years. Johns Hopkins buying up all the properties over East, University of Maryland buying up all the properties over West. Like, is there really a prevention plan to take back our communities? And you know what's so significant about that pisses me off is that we spend our money in these communities because these are the convenience stores, right, within these communities. But how convenient are they? They don't provide fresh fruits and all that stuff, from their products to the service. You can't get away with being 10 cent, 50 cents short, or whatever the case may be. And then on top of that, we are making their communities rich. Like, these people are foreigners and they're sending money back to their countries, but we live in this country and have been in this country for hundreds of years, and the dollar leaves our community in 6 hours, which means that we never get a chance to spend money with each other. Like, what type of dynamics is going on for us to have the mentality of spending our money with Javante and all them to make a name for them over top of our own people? I don't care what their clothing line is or anything like that. Like, how do we curb those dynamics? How do we curb the dynamics of the government politicians doing what's in the best interest of the banks? Because at the end of the day, what happens with law is that they have lobbyists, and they have people that are paid by the banks that go up to these things and they lobby for laws to happen. How do we stop lobbyists from putting laws on the interests of the banks that put other civilians into detriment? Because we don't know all the laws. I mean, like, for real, the laws that we live by in this country, nobody knows all the laws, and that's a problem. That is a huge problem, to the point where, as though we need a lawyer to represent us in court, we can't even tell our own side of the story.
And these are things, now that you saying this, these are things, excuse me, what I've been saying the entire existence. We need our own rules and regulations, policies and procedures.
Mm-hmm.
This is so the things you just said, that is nobody else's fault but ours.
Mm-hmm.
All this is our fault. Nobody can do nothing to you that you don't allow. Do you see? Because if it happened to the first one, and if they don't do anything about it, it'll happen to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And the next one don't do about it, it'll keep going. Because we don't pull together and make a stop. We don't. We'll argue at each other, but we won't argue at the issues that we have.
Exactly.
That's why I'm running for mayor. The things you said, it's time for a change.
Uncle Wayne, running for mayor.
This is no more a joke. You understand? Because my brothers are dying in the street not knowing God. That's the thing that I feel. Because church folks, I'm on them number one. They done push people to the streets. They think they're better than anyone else. And they representing God. That's the worst of all. That's not the God I know. They feel as though if they beat you down because they can get away with the things they do and they don't realize what they're doing. And then you're angry at God because you're really angry at the church. And you're now thinking you could do it on your own. That's why we're failing. We got to pull together, know God is number one, and start focusing on our lives.
I think that's awesome. And I think the reason why we're failing as a people, though, is because we lack identity. Notice how we don't control anything. We don't own anything. Even if we did make clothes, we had a clothing line. We're not responsible for making the cotton and the fabrics that these clothes are made out of. We still got to go ahead and go into other people's businesses.
And that's sad to say
and
that.
So,
one. Just hold that for a note when you just said that. Let's listen 1 second. That we not in control over cotton.
I know as much as hey man, cotton.
Just
for real,
about
as
that.
much cotton as we
we still ain't even control
and
that.
The black man made the cotton gin press as well. The black man made the cotton gin press as well. I'm just saying with all these inventions, even with Madam C.J. Walker and the hair products that we still use today. I mean, like the things that we have to look at seriously with unbiased, unbiased, what I would say, I would just say unbiased. We got to look at things with an unbiased mind and look at things for what they is.
And pull
for what
together.
they are. Well, for what they are.
We've got, as a black race, you all, that's what I'm saying. We can lead, but we have to pull together. That's the thing. It's our time to lead. It is. It's our time to lead the way that God wants us to lead. And they can follow. White folks has been leading for eons, and we've been following them. Let's switch the gears a little bit. Let Baltimore lead. And then people say, oh, well, you already got black politics. You got black. But watch this.
Well, people going to want to know about the crime, though. People going to know.
Politics.
Because Baltimore been top 3 in the murder rates for like the past...
All right, let's dig
10
a little
years
deeper,
or so, or 8 years since Freddie Gray died.
Back to what I just said. Look who we got handling the situations of crime. It's the policemen. I just said that. If they're not solving the issue and they're hired and being paid to do it, that's why we rely on them. Wrong. We got to rely on ourselves. The murder is happening to us.
But we're doing that to ourselves.
Here we go.
At the end of the day, what can get us to a place where we start to thrive instead of die? Because Baltimore is a dying city.
Because we have nothing to live for.
Baltimore is a dying city.
If you don't have anything to live for, you don't want to live. It's easy for you to kill somebody else because you have nothing to live for. But when you accomplish things, like I said, if you got a family and you got good things going on, you think twice. But if you don't got shit going on, living day by day, hey, it's the luck of the draw. Whether you get locked up, you get shot or whatever, it's the luck of the draw. Those things have to change. We got to realize this is a village. We're in this together. All of us. Whether we like it or not, we're in this together. So we got to resolve issues together. Let's say if I meet you and you come around, if things are not going well with you, I need to know why. So maybe somebody in the village can help you out. And you got to do it to that next person, the next person. That's how we do it. We can't say, oh, that person, this and that, and talk about them behind each other's back. That's what we do as a black race. We always talking about each other instead of helping each other. Now watch this. We pick and choose and want to help the people we want to help. That's why we fail a lot of times.
You need some water, Uncle.
Yeah.
Get some water, Uncle.
But you can't help the one you want to help. You just have to realize God gives people in your life for a reason. Follow through. Unconditional love. Remember that. No matter what. Unconditional love. Unconditional love. So I had a long day. I've been yelling and screaming all day.
Yeah. And like I said,
we do.
He just had his official filing papers today as well for the mayor just today. So you know he been talking, man. Let's get
we gonna work, but we've been through it.
We got you, Uncle Wayne. We gonna work with you. We actually appreciate all the viewers as well.
Yeah,
like I said, we gonna get everything together. We doing things from in-house because a lot of times when you get involved with certain things, you know what I'm saying, you make certain obligations that you find yourself not wanting to be committed to and find yourself being a part of plans that you don't want yourself to be committed to. So we're going to get everything together as far as the production and things like that. We're still working and we're still tweaking on production. It's just that the world works a certain way. But we have certain things that we're doing within the community that we need to support. We appreciate everyone's support as well. We want you guys to continue to support us because what we're going to do is make sure that our people are taken care of primarily. And we want to do that without being embarrassed about the fact that we put in our people first.
Right.
It doesn't matter what the situation or the circumstances are. If those of you believe in the Bible says charity starts at home. So what better place to start with than your own people? We're going to deal with our own people on a level where we can make us prosperous, and we won't disturb the political governmental system. We're going to do things well within range, but that is the goal. And it is only going to take the viewers. Y'all bear with us. We're going to keep on going forward. Uncle Wayne is running for mayor. Make sure y'all go ahead and document this show. This is the first time special announcement. BMore4Real podcast episode number 18. Make sure y'all go ahead and we're going to get the young people involved in this one now, man. Uncle Wayne in this, BMore4Real in this. We're going to make sure we do it right, man.
It's our time.
It is our time.
And it's our time.
It is our time and it's our turn, man. Any other things to say, Uncle Wayne, man?
Hey, listen, this is what I'm saying. Now the campaign is, the announcement is made, and now the next step. Remember, I'm going to set up what we call a gathering. I don't like the terminology as meeting because that ain't going to work. We're going to have a village gathering. And I'll implement, and I'm going to let you know exactly how we're going to do this thing as I'm coming for mayor. Then you have all your tough questions, and then you will figure out exactly what I'm talking about. I don't want to tell you bits and pieces because it's not going to make sense, but we're working on a website where it's going to be simple and straight to the point. Remember, Baltimore, it's our time, and it's our turn.
BMore4Real, I'm OMG.
BMore4Real, and I'm Uncle Wayne.
Man, we appreciate all the
also, Mayor Uncle Wayne.
Yeah, Mayor.
Thanks for
Mayor.
joining us, y'all. Wednesday and every Wednesday.
Be here, man. Let's go.
BMore4Real.